Friends, I want to let you guys know that first and foremost, when I do these videos for YouTube, I am not sponsored. First and foremost, why the hell would a company sponsor me? I'm just some old guy with a small YouTube channel. But I want you guys to honestly know that I'm being genuine when I guess promote or mention a product. I have nothing to do with that company. It's from my own years of blood, sweat, tears, hard lessons, work, mistakes. When I mention a product or suggest a product, it's because it's worked well for me and it's paid me back dividends. I am not getting anything from any of these companies. I just want to make that clear. Guitar strings, eh? Gross guitar strings, eh? Well, friends, let me tell you something here. As humans, we have oils in our skin. We excrete sweat, dirt. I'm not going to get into all the benefits of having a balanced diet, watching your alkaline balance, and all that stuff. But the gross, hard facts about guitar strings. This brings me back to many years ago. I remember this girl I taught. Kim, if you're watching, I know you're out there. We used to have these funny discussions because on hers, for whatever reason, on her guitar strings, it got very gross. The strings smelled bad. I called it barf cake, all this dirt and grime that was like half an inch thick all over the strings. But at the same time, it's something to talk about because, hey, who wants to spend more money than you need to spend? So eventually guitar strings wear out. You're going to want to change your guitar strings fairly regularly because the tone quality of the strings will start to go down and the ability for them to stay in tune starts to go down as well. Now, what does this mean? What can we do? Now, keeping in mind for a professional guitar player who's gigging frequently, and we're also going to talk about a recreational guitar player who plays and practices on a fairly regular basis. Now, what I used to do years ago, I used to have a little cloth and I would wipe down the strings. That would help a little bit, but I probably had more acidic sweat coming out of my fingers. And, you know, I just noticed with certain people, their strings would start to smell or they would have to go through strings very quickly. This really hit me too many years ago. I think the year was 2001. In a band I was playing in, we had a rhythm guitar player for a while. Great guy. He was actually a pretty good rhythm guy for metal stuff. But like I would see him eating pizza. And then he would, you know, pick up his guitar and start playing. And he was going through strings like no tomorrow. So guys, here are some tips to help you with your strings. And I'm going to speak as a professional musician. I remembered when I would gig, while you're under the hot lights, you're sweating like crazy, you're putting on a performance. Usually, after one gig, my strings would die. So, a couple of tips that really helped me that I'm going to bring along here to help you. I'm not sponsored by this company, but they are worth mentioning because this product is a godsend. The product is called GHS Fast Fret. There you go. Look at that. Come on, camera, focus. GHS Fast Fret. And what it is, basically, you have a tube with some oil in it with an applicator with a cloth for cleaning. Now, a couple of things. First and foremost, a couple of tips to get more guitar life. Wash your frickin' hands, right? Before I practice, I always wash my hands. Gets any extra oil and dirt off my fingers. That helps. Some people, not to put other people down, but some people are different when it comes to their hygiene. Like Uncle Jed. You remember Uncle Jed? But with Fast Fret, when I'm finished, I would apply it on the strings, gently pinch the strings with the cloth, and I found that I started to get a lot more life out of my set of strings. Now, from a professional aspect, I did a lot of 2- and 3-nighters as a professional musician. The first night, the strings got worn pretty good, but I found by using Fast Fret, I could just squeak out a second night of use the next night instead of having to change the strings. Now, mind you, depending on the band and what you're doing, I was just a working musician. Every pack of strings you change adds up. but you want to still change the strings to have good tone and to play well and feel good playing the guitar, because when the strings are corroded, full of barf cake, it's not very inspiring to play. On another note, when you do buy strings, okay, music stores love it when you go in and buy one pack. Try and buy them in larger quantities when you can, when money is there. You are going to save money in the long term, okay? I never go into a store and just buy one pack of strings. Now, fast fret. So here's some tips, guys. Wash your hands. Always, whether you're practicing, especially if you've been sweating or it's humid or hot, always wipe your strings down. Use fast fret. The price of fast fret, I remember back in the day, it was like $4.99 for a tube, and a tube would last you for months. The price has tripled recently. I was at a music store last week and I grabbed a couple of tubes because I thought I would do a YouTube video on this. Good tips to give to people. And I almost had a heart attack when I saw the bill after when I paid, because I was like, oh, why is this so expensive? And I was like, oh my God, $12.99 a tube. That's Canadian funds. So there's some tips, guys. Wash your hands. Clean up your strings after you're done. You'll get more life out of them. I've been able to get quite a bit more life out of my strings. Now, I'm cheap, but I'm not that cheap. I do know when to change my strings. But again, GHS Fast Fret, not sponsored. I'm not sponsored. Not sponsored. I'm not sponsored. They're probably looking at me going, who is this old guy? He taught Santa Claus about Christmas. But this is a hell of a product, and I really recommend it to get more life out of your strings and to save you money in the long term. That's it. That's all. Practice hard, and we'll see you soon.